Images. Images are very important when creating a website. An image or gallery of images personalizes your site. It adds personality and allows people to differentiate your website from the one they were just on. This is what an image tag looks like. Again, because we write no content inside an image, it uses the one tag. It does not use a closing tag. Very similar to our line break, which is BR, or a horizontal rule, which is HR. To link to an image, which is how we show an image, is by linking to an uploaded image that's already on the internet. We use the sourced attribute. Here's an example. We open it up with our image. The attribute is src, source, and our value is the direct link to the image. Now this will show up exactly like this. With images, we can also add borders. It's very simple. All we do is add the border attribute. And this is how we do it. We have our image, our source, which will show you this image here. And we set border to 3, which is a 3-pixel border all the way around it. We can also set the width and height of an image. Along with adding or removing a border around an image, we can physically change the image's width and height using the width and height attributes. Both the width and height attributes use pixel measurements, so to try and adjust an image to inches or centimeters is not going to work. Continuing with the example from earlier, we're going to stretch out the logo to 600 pixels and shrink the height to 25 pixels. And here's how we do it. We have our image, we have our source, the direct link to the image, border is equal to 0 because we don't want a border. We set the height to 25 and our width to 600. And as an example, this is what you see right here. Notice how the image is very different now. It's twice as long as it normally is and 1/4 the height. If we want to make an image bigger or smaller and keep it proportional, then we only set one of the attributes, either the height or the width. In this example, you notice we have width is equal to 600, but we don't have a height. There's no height attribute inside this image tag. As our second image, we have height is equal to 25, but we do not have a width. And this is what it looks like. Our first image, width is equal to 600. We doubled the width that it naturally is. It was naturally 300 by 100. So now that the width is 600, the height is going to be 200. And in the same fashion, if we set the height to 25, like we did here, this image is going to have a height of 25, but because the height is 1/4 the height of the original image, it's also going to be 1/4 the width. So if we set only one of the height or width attributes, then the browser will automatically adjust the image for you. Next we have an alternate name. It is highly recommended that you always use an alternate name, and this is what it is. The alt attribute, or alternate, is ALT, and what this does is it will show some text inside the box where your image should be if for some reason the image could not be loaded. If there was a spelling error in your source, your connection timed out, or for whatever reason the image just could not load. And here's what the code would look like. We have our image, we have our source, we have the direct URL to our image, only this time we added an extra 0. Instead of having 300 at the end, we have 3000. Alt is equal to, set our width, 300, height, 100, and border to 1, just so that you can see where it shows up. And as you see, because we typed source wrong, the image is not going to show up. But it did still create a 300 by 100 image with a 1-pixel border around it, and it has our alternate text inside of it. It's a good idea to use descriptive words of your image or the actual image name as the alternate name. This way, if the image doesn't load, you know exactly what is supposed to be there. In our example here, we have our logo. We don't actually see it, but we know it's supposed to be a logo there.